Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a circuit that demands absolute precision, bravery, and just a little bit of luck. Tonight I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi. It's green, green, green here at the Miami Autodromo Internazionale. Side by side, there goes Sean Stan, the Stanman, and the 000 as well. Papa Green made up 3 positions in 2 laps. With Leslie Simpkins now throws his elbows out at Drew. Tonight, the Degenerate Race League rolls into one of the most demanding layouts on the calendar. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Roval. This is the no chicane edition. This is not the standard Roval rhythm drivers are used to. Without the chicanes, lap opens up into higher speeds, bigger commitment zones, and much heavier braking demands. The oval sections will reward confidence in drafting, but the infield will punish anyone who gets greedy on corner entry, curb usage, or throttle application. And with the championship this tight, round 3 could be a major turning point. At the top, Alex Hansen and Tyler Finley are deadlocked at 75 points after the drop rounds, while Andrew Jackson and Morgan Dino just sit 5 points back at 70. Behind them, Evans Vogue and Juan Cruz are tied at 67. Doug Sorrentino and Zach Armstrong, Ryan Parkins and Corey Pastro All close enough to make this fight even messier before the night is over. This is the kind of race where one mistake does not just cost track position, it can shake up the entire championship picture. High speed, heavy braking, no chicane, a stack points battle. Welcome to round 3 of the Degenerate Race League from the Charlotte Roval, folks. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag. Tonight, the keys to the race are simple. Survive the high-speed braking zone. Get the infield rotation right. Manage tire temperature and rear grip. And pick your battles wisely. Take a look at the championship points as we discussed. Alex Hansen, Tyler Finley tied at the lead with Andrew Jackson and Dino tied for 3rd and 4th. Evans Vorg and Juan Cruz tied there for 5th and 6th. Doug Sorrentino, Zach Armstrong, Barkins, Pastro, Gavin Cook all in the mix with 15 points on the line. Blake Galvin, Michael Tross, Daniel Serpak, Samuel Bozak, Austin Quinn, Rod Twiddell, Amrit Vestrala lining the top 18. Jeremy Dunn, Michael Coate, Mitch Nairati, Kurt Huber, Dave Seifarth, Frederick Powell, Casey Grant, Michael Brown, Tony McAnally, and Russell Stanford round out the 28. Down 29, Chris Black, Matthew Warwas, Jake Almond, Jim Kelly, Sam Zawiska, Brian Hoskins, Donovan Edwards, Harsh Singh, Jason Hayes, Pierce Fox, and Tyler Morgan rounding out the 39 drivers in the championship fight. Want to give a big shout out and thanks to everybody in the Patreon. You guys literally keep the lights on here at the Degenerate Race League. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support. It goes a long way. Let's take a look at those results very quickly. Tyler Finley, Ryan Evanhater Barkins, and Andy Jackson line the first 2 rows with Gav Beans Cook, Mac and Lee. Thank you. Gav Bean Cooks, Pierce Fox, Zach Armstrong, Michael Tross, Juan Cruz, Morgan Dino, and Corey Pastro line the first 10. Let's take a look at our grid tonight. Tyler Finley right now is going to be the one in P1 with Ryan Barkins in P2. Andy Jackson and Gav Beans Cook on the second row. The third belongs to Pierce Fox and Zach Armstrong. Row 4 for Michael Trost and Juan Cruz. And then we have row 5 for Morgan Dino and Corey Pastro. And row 6, it'll belong to Russ Money McMillian and Silas Linear Dirt Lover. Casey Grant and Amit Vestrala. And row 7, row 8 for Kyle Hirsch and Colin Baker. Row 9 is now going to be lined with Daniel Serpak and Christopher Black. Row 10, Jake Almond driving Krispy Kreme Machine and Sam Zwiska. Row 11 for James Kelly and Evans Vogue, who did not get a good qualifying in. And the Barbie Machine to Doug Sorrentino and Ross Twiddell in row 12. Row 13 for Mitch Nairati and Mike Brown in 26th place. And last but not least, Kurt Hoover in 27th position. The drivers weave their way through the infield section. They warm their tires up as we head onto the high banking, where drivers are going to be flat out all the way through the backside of the racetrack. Two Ferraris on the first and second row, trying to work together potentially on this race start as we get this epic race underway. The drivers were all surprised with this one tonight, so I expect a little bit of calamity. This was a mystery race tonight, so the drivers had very limited time to get to grips with the track car combos that they're faced with. Here we go. Drivers line the first row. Tyler Finley takes off and leaves Ryan Barkins and Andy Jackson to duke it out amongst themselves. And there goes Jackson on the inside line towards turn one. Has the advantageous run right now. Looking through the field, it looks like we made it through green and clean for the most part. Oh, excuse me, just as I say that, it looks like Mike Code Brown, no, that's Mitch Nairati, excuse me, has a little bit of a moment all by his lonesome. Checking out Daniel Serpak in his climb through the order, or should I say downfall through the order, currently down 3 positions on the good currently, but trying to relinquish some positions back this very evening. A lot of German pilots getting involved in this tussle right now. The Mustang thrown in the mix of the fleet of Porsches and the Cavalieri Lampanti chasing behind. Bit of bump drafting going on from the Ferrari into Ross Tweddell. That'll be Doug Sorrentino helping out Tweddell on that run down towards turn one. A lot different without that final chicane to slow down the pack. The drivers are flat out going down in towards turn one. It's absolutely phenomenal stuff. Tweddell to the outside line on the Barbie girl, trying to throw haymakers out with Doug Sorrentino, but Sorrentino, the Antarctican driver, is cold as ice, and he falls down the order 1 position. But what's going on up ahead? Sam Zawiska involved in a little bit of a tussle right now. As we look ahead, the drivers all fan out, nearly 3 right. There goes Zawiska to the wall, and the Aston Martin in the middle. The number 20 of Russ Money McMillian is missing a big part of that front bumper. So it's not looking good for Russ right now on his run going through the kink, dog leg, I should say, before we get down towards turn one. Rob Picton, 88, says it's week 2 of tuning in. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, Rob Picton. There goes the 27 of Christopher Black, losing a little bit of ground right now. And he's not doing so well as he makes a trip off into the kitty litter. Loses 1 to Sam Zwiska, who's up 2 tonight on the good. Looking up ahead, it's Corey Pastro getting a Pierce Fox, excuse me, getting a slowdown by the looks. Oh no, he's not tracking right. Pierce Fox must have been involved in an incident because he is just tracking like a crab right now. Let's check out the battle for the lead as Finley and Jackson go wheel to wheel through the dog leg into the braking zone of turn 1. The 97 tries to carry the speed to the outside line, but can he carry it all the way down towards turn 3? That's where it matters most, and it will matter most here and now. It's looking good on the straight and narrow for the Ferrari machines, but the BMW is now in the meat of the sandwich between these two teammates. And what is going to happen after that? Only the drivers behind the wheel know what they are scheming and plotting. We'll have to just wait and see. 45-minute race. We have 41 minutes and some change remaining on the clock. Trying to stay in the draft of the BMW as the Ferrari bottoms out. Andy Jackson takes the lead and advances his gap by about half a second by the time we cross the checkered stripe. Harkins, though, still looming as well. Checking out back here where Doug Sorrentino was, but we have more battles brewing as we take a look at Daniel Serpak trying to get a move done on that number 27 of Christopher Black that was off earlier on. And he does that one with relative ease. A smooth move there. Looking at Jake Almond and his battle with the number 16, or excuse me, Mitch Nairati is the number 32, and they're going to go door to door, wheel to wheel, blow for blow. But no harm, no foul between loved ones on the racetrack. Things happen. Cooler heads will prevail at the end of the night. As darkness starts to fall here at Charlotte Roval, we'll start to see some lights turn on. Check in with the weather. It is overcast with track temperature of 29 degrees. Dry surface conditions for now. As we all know, we saw it happen last week at Indy. Christopher Black and Mike Code Brown, as Brown goes for the move there. Christopher Black down 5 positions now and just dropping like a stone continuously. Number 27 put in a 1:11.4 that last time by. James Kelly and Mike Code Brown were both in their 109s. Over to Finley again as we check out his battle for P1. We already have traffic becoming an issue on the evening as drivers come out. This is a very short track, so traffic becomes a problem early on in the race. As you can see by the track map, that's Kyle Hirsch, Morgan Dino, who was involved in the incident earlier on in the race. Checking in to see if we can get a replay of that right now. I'm not seeing it pop up in my incident box, so we'll have to take a look at that later on. Sam Zawiska, though, and Daniel Serpak locked in their battle as Serpak continues to try to challenge forward. Serpak trying to get around Sam Zawiska here. Carries a lot of speed. Can he get a 2-for-1 special and also get by Jake Allman, no, absolutely not. The two Ferraris are duking it out, but look at how much the slipstream helps out. Going down in turn one, it will be Serpak giving a little bit of a look at the stamp and a send there. And the Krispy Kreme's machine of Jake Allman goes off in the middle of the infield. Very uncharacteristic. Let's see, up here, the battle continues between Finley and Barkins. Barkins looks to the inside at the dog leg, and he's going to find the daylight there, but has to park it on the apex. He keeps the big bad BMW behind for now. All this battling that's been brewing has allowed the number 69 to try to garnish some positions as well as we look at the head-to-head. Because of all that battling, he's been able to match their pace equally. Clear Pasture, who's up 5 positions, has been lapping a little bit slower than Gav Beans Cook right now, so no doing there on Pasture's charge to challenge Gav for his P4. James Kelly and Sam Zawiska yet again, same time, same place. This time Zawiska gets it done, or had it done until he made a little trip to the grass there. Fastest lap of the race comes out from Evans Ford. Driver in 9th position. Let's take a look at the championship top 5 and see where they sit currently. Right now, it's the 390 no longer with us. Finley in P3, Jackson in P1, Dino in P26, and Zvog in P8. Drafting from Finley into Barkins, a little push and a hip check, pushing them forward right now. Rob Pinkton says in the chat, only thing slowing them down is a mechanical issue or a nice rack up against the fences. Well, I'll agree with that, 110% Rob Pinkton. The biggest battle right now is the one we're watching on our screen, but also the battle with the track of itself. The Charlotte Roval demands a lot of precision and patience with this no chicane layout. You come into the braking zone of turn 1 at a very high rate of speed, and then you challenge yourself through the technical infield section and bump yourself back out onto the banking like at Daytona. Except the banking here lasts from basically turn 1 all the way through to turn 4 across the stripe. Russ Money McMillan in a bit of a heated battle across Tudell. Here and now, the battle for 13th and 14th place as Ross Money McMillan goes for a move around the outside and does find the daylight there. Despite not having a nose to sniff out the prizes, he's still able to find a treat every now and then. Look at that front of his car is absolutely tattered. Russ has to be thinking that he just has to make it to the fuel window. He can pit, get that nose repaired with his fast repair. Get back out on the racetrack and try to gain some positions. Up 12 for Twiddell now. One of the biggest gainers on the evening so far. Here comes Nairati through on Russ Money. Challenge down in towards turn one. Side by side we go over the bridge. That will be a good looking move for Mitch Nairati. Also up 12 positions on the good tonight, but the biggest gainer is going to be Doug Sorrentino, the Barbie girl, having a joyride tonight in that Ferrari. 296, 2.9 liter V6. Turbo car. Twin turbocharged to be corrected, excuse me. Twiddell and Nairati now glued at the hip. Take a look at who's taking a pit stop. Looks like nobody in the top 20 so far. It looks like we have to go all the way down to P21 to Evans Vogue. And Evan, despite pitting, is still up one position tonight, so all to gain, nothing to lose for him. Puts in a personal best lap of 107.7 that last time back. Excuse me, Twiddell puts in that 107.7 that last time by. 107.8 for Nairati on his attempt to chase down Twiddell. On board here with Nairati. Is chased down in the Porsche. Take a look at Barkins one more time as he continues to defend back from Finley by just driving the optimum line. Take a look at this real quick. The driver timeline is always fun to take a look at. There it is for Doug Sorrentino. He just continually plugs away, gaining position after position. A little plateau there after lap 11. Seems to have climbed his high of P10. And plateaued from there. Russ Money still dropping like a stone now. Oh, excuse me. Now he's gotten a pit stop done. He should be on fresher tires. Did he not take tires? No, he did not take tires as he gives a little love tap to the AMG out ahead. Little turbo speed never hurt anybody. That'd be Corey Pastro in 5th place that got the love tap there from Russ Money. And Pastro's chased down by Pierce Fox. Who has also taken his pit stop 14 seconds, 0.5 in the box compared to a 23.3 second stop for Russ. Still chased down by Finley, staying right on his heels, not letting the 72 escape for even a second. Busy is the track now. As drivers begin their pit stops, traffic again becomes a problem. Christopher Black, Mike Brown, Jake Allman in the pits right now. Let's see where they end up coming out. Porsche on its way out. That'll be Mike Brown in the 915 finding his way out. Mike Brown will cycle out in the 915 to P22. About 2 seconds ahead of Kyle Hirsch currently. Tordell getting a little flashy of the headlights from Mitch Nairati. Must be not happy about something there. Things brewing up as we approach within a half a second of Jackson. Barkins continues to push, brings down the gap to Barkins ahead. Finley in the chase, performing equally matched lap times. Let's take a look at the head-to-head again. Gaining an average of about 10.5. The catch would be in 5 laps. If my math is mathing, that would be about 5 minutes of race running. That means that Ryan Barkins would have to keep up his pace. 106.9, 106.9, 106.8. There we go. Barkins and Jackson light the fuse and take off like rocket ships. Kyle Hirsch tries to go wheel to wheel with Mike Code Brown. Doesn't need to try too hard. As skates right on by. Kyle Hirsch in the number 11. Next car up on the chopping block is going to be Russ Money, but he has to get through Jansen first. Jansen in ninth place right now, running a pretty sporty livery in that Ferrari. It's not too shabby, if I do say so myself. And Jansen is going to come down pit lane immediately after getting past. And that should be one of the first in the top 10 to come down pit lane. Battle for first between Andy Jackson and Ryan Barkins here. The trio battling for the lead is uber exciting at this point. Sorrentino from ninth place comes into the pits to get his fuel topped up and get back out onto the racetrack. The trio here separated by just under 1 second now as we get through the banking of the outer loop here at Charlotte. GT3s are pushing flat out. A little bit of a defense there from Andy Jackson. No, Barkins was too far back to make anything happen. We want to give him the tow going down into Ward 1. The Barbie girl of Doug Sorrentino comes out of the pits, cycles out to P14 on the good, right behind the lead battle. Not too bad of a place to be in. That means that he should cycle to the front of these packs. Casey Grant comes into the pit. Amit Vastrala into the pits as well. Gets their service, their fuel topped up, and back out onto the racetrack. Colin Barker as well. Daniel Serpak as well. And Jake Allman comes into the pit again. Barkins defends Barkins defends Finley back as Jackson charges forward. Side by side coming through turn 3, but the inside line is the preferred line, but it doesn't work out well this time for Barkins, who loses out to Finley. Take a look at where Pastro cycles out now. Evans Vogue, the first of the pit stoppers. Except for Pastro now, who might come out wheel to wheel with Zvog. No, they're separated by around 9.5 seconds, so no doing there. But here comes the battle into the pit lane. Barkins comes in. Finley challenges for the lead on Jackson. Gives him a little push to boot through the infield horseshoe section. Here we go. Finley closing down like a great white shark. Do they both come down pit road? They do, but who's going to get a penalty? They both look like they made it through clean on entry. 8 meters the gap there between them on pit road. Will the gap be on exit now? Where does Barkins cycle out to is the other question at the end of the night. And Corey Pastro as well. He's gained 4 positions tonight. Wowza on exit. There goes the 72 Ryan Barkins on Andy Jackson. And that's how that was settled between teammates. Now a little bit of traffic getting in the way right now. That'll be Kyle Hirsch yielding the inside line through the banking to the battling leaders, but seemingly so the damage has been done as Barkins has walked away with a 1.7 second gap. Excuse me, Finley walked away with a 1.7 gap on Barkins. Jackson to the inside of his teammate. Side by side through 2 and 3. They're going to give a little bit of a paint job to each other, but the 97 catches it until they both clatter the sausage. And that'll be worse for wear for the 72. He rejoins the racetrack behind the plaid machine of Kyle Hirsch. Evans Vogue in his chase of Gav Beans Cook. British Airways number 69. Nice. And chased down by the degenerate Evans Vogue. What can he do here at Charlotte? Well, just under 15 minutes left to go. There it is. Looks for a move. He carries the speed around the banking. We'll be able to make this one stick coming through turn one. Time will tell. We'll find out here in 3, 2, 1. He does. Absolutely fantastic move from Evans Vogue around the outside at turn 1. And who is that off there? Is that Mike Brown? That is Mike Brown in the 915. The Moo Machine seems to have caught off with a problem over to Casey Grant and Ross Twiddell. And the 11 is off. Up ahead, that's Kyle Hirsch, and he's going to be a little cork in the bottle for Casey Grant, Mitch Nairati, and the likes in this battle right now. Whoa, no, and Kyle Hirsch. Oh, no. Not sure. Oh, no, Kyle. It all goes worse for Will for Kyle Hirsch as he has another slip, trip, and fall right before he got onto the high banking. Well, it's not looking good for the number 11 tonight. Trust chasing down Vestrala. Sorrentino And Michael Trost here, the Barbie girl, continues to advance his positions forward, goes very wide through the horseshoe. But that'll lead to a better exit coming through the back straight. Finley slowing down by nearly a second that lap. Taking a look at the traffic, it doesn't look to be caught in any right now. Take a look at Jackson. Oh yeah, he's got a ton of traffic in front of him. We got Black, McMillan, Baker. So that'll explain why Finley was a little bit slower on that last run. Narati here chases down Casey Grant in their battle in the hunt for a top 10. Which Narati started at the back of the pack. He's up 12 positions right now. Not too shabby of a run for him on the evening. And Gav Cook trying to find P4 sits behind Evans Vogue. Check out the driver head-to-head here between Grant and Nairati. Woo-wee! Nairati picking up the pace. He's gaining around 0.3 per lap. Now he just has to find a way by Casey Grant. Over to Gav Cook. Got Corey Pastro all over the rear wing. No longer as Pastro goes to the outside line at the kink of turn 1. Switches things up, moves to the inside line for turn 2 and turn 3. And now tries to push it all the way to the limit, but the British Airways driver keeps it calm, cool, and collected through the infield. 7 minutes left to go on the clock. 8 minutes, excuse me. Ross Trudell comes into the pits again. You can just hear that McLaren bottoming out. Gav Cook pushing that car to the floor right now. Side by side, there goes Pastro's move into turn 1. Gav Cook left the door wide open, and he didn't need to be invited twice to that party. Nairati and Casey Grant. Up through the infield. And Roddy passes Grant finally. Gains 13 on the evening. Final 5 on the clock. Finley pulls out a huge gap on Jackson, 4.7 through the traffic. I didn't realize that needed to be a key to the race as well, was managing the traffic control. Pastro and Gav Cook separated by around 3/4 of a second. Gav unable to keep up the pace as we check out the head-to-head here. Gav has been losing around 2/10, 3/10 per lap on Corey Pastro, who's been charging through the field continuously tonight. Smokes. Got a comment in the Twitch. Grant and Nairati battle all over again. Nairati's not giving up on this opportunity here tonight. Goes deep at turn 1, trying to carry the speed as we breach the final 5. We're into the final 4 minutes of this one. Evansvog! What is he doing in the pits? Evansvog must have gotten a black flag. Now has to battle with Armstrong. What a race for him tonight. Quick stop for Evansvog. Evansvog back up into P7 for now. Can you keep back Zach Armstrong? That is the question. With just 3 minutes remaining, I was looking at the timeline. A couple of the information was a little bit misleading. It was not taking 4 tires. It didn't take 2 tires either. The race is quieted down, but the heat has picked up. Tyler Finley, 107.0 compared to 106.9 last time by as we go on board with Finley. Calm and smooth he is through the race. Just giving gentle inputs to the car through the infield. 1 more minute remaining. That means Barney's waving the white flag for us this time by. Tyler Finley had a hard-fought battle with Andy Jackson and Ryan Barkins on the race start. The two teammates trying to duke it out with Finley all race long, but Finley was not fazed by the kerfuffle. He drove with precision and confidence and let the race come to him with a short pit stop and a very short pit lane time. He was able to jump ahead. Finley pulled out all the stops tonight. He's going for the big fat win here at Charlotte. He's weaving with confidence coming down the back stretch. He's got a healthy 5-second gap right now. Tyler Finley is going to bring it home in P1 tonight. Jackson in P2, Barkins in third. Pastro is going to cross the line in P4 as well. Take a look at the results real quick before we get to the driver interviews. Finley took the win. Andy Jackson in P2, Ryan Barkins in third, Corey Pastro in fourth, Gav Cook in fifth, Ahmed Pastrana in sixth, Evans Ward in seventh, Zach Armstrong in eighth, Doug Sorrentino in ninth, and Silas Jansen in 10th. Michael Tross, Mitch Narati, Casey Grant, Russ Money McMillian, Colin Baker, Juan Cruz, Daniel Serpak, James Kelly, Kyle Hirsch, and Christopher Black round out the top 20. Looking forward, Mike Morgandino, Mike Brown, Ross Riddell, Sam Zwiska, Pierce Fox, Jake Allman, and Kurt Huber round out the top 27. Hard Charger award goes to Evans Vorg, Andy Jackson in P2. Or, excuse me, most laps led goes to Andy Jackson, though. Fastest lap goes to Tyler Finley, and pole position, well, that's Finley's as well. Let's see if we've got anybody ready to come down to the broadcast booth looking for Finley, Jackson, and Barkins. Rob Pinkton in the chat saying, Mr. President, the 9-7 got robbed. And Nyrads, yes, I did get some of your work tonight. That was a heck of a battle with Michael Tross. That one lasted a good deal of time. Holy smokes, brother. Great battles up and down the field tonight. I see nobody coming down for interviews. So with that, folks, that will be it tonight. Folks, tonight, it's been a great race. I've been your host, Soccer Boxy, taking you from green to checkered flag on behalf of the Degenerate Race League. It's been a pleasure being your host, but all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now. hold on. We did get interviews. Before we go, we've got Gav Cook who wants to talk to us. Gav.
Oh, hey.
We almost closed down the stream on you, buddy.
Oh, no. When I get top 10 or something, I'm here. I'm here to chat.
Yeah, that was a good run for you there, buddy. Still one position lost on the good, but still ended up with the top 5.
Yeah, most of the top guys didn't even realize they needed to qualify on the first lap, because we were supposed to have 4 laps usually. So everybody's kind of warming their tires for the first lap. So a bunch of people didn't realize, because Morgan had messed up and only put 1 lap for qualifying. So I think I got lucky with where I was placed in qualifying, but hung on pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good run, Gav. You had some battles there with Corey Pastro that we caught. That was not too shabby. On the evening and your reflections on the charge, anything you want to highlight?
Oh yeah, it was fun trying to keep up with those with the quick 3 guys at the top at the start, and I was just as soon as I lost the toe, I could see that Corey was catching me. I was like, oh, it's gonna come eventually, and I wasn't gonna make it too difficult, but we had a good battle anyway. It was fun.
It was a good one. Anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank on the top 5, Gav?
Yeah, I want to shout out Evan. I beat you. See you later.
Thank you very much, Gav. Have a great night and stay safe, brother.
Yeah, thanks, bye.
Next up, we're going to pull in Tyler Finley, who took the big fat win tonight. Finley, what a fight you had, though, with Jackson and Barkins for pretty much that entire first half. How'd you shake him off in the second, though?
Yeah, I don't know what happened after that pit stop. I think they got caught up in some traffic, fortunately for me. But it all worked out. I was hoping to battle with them at the end, but that's how these things work out. So
it's the way of the road. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she don't, but it was a hard-fought battle for that beginning half. And your reflections on it at this point, after the heat's cooled down and the sweat's weared off, the adrenaline's down. How do you reflect on such an intense battle, especially when you were chasing down, I think it was Jackson. They've got the same livery, so I can't remember. I apologize. But I think you were chasing down Jackson for like 5 laps. You were just glued to his bumper. What's that like?
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. But it's fun at the same time. But it allows me to think a little bit how I can kind of gauge how they're entering corners, getting out of the corners as well, kind of plan my attack, so to say, which is the benefit, I guess, of being behind. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's still intense, and it's, you want to make sure you're glued to them the whole time and be ready to capitalize if they make a mistake. So
absolutely. And you were there to capitalize when they did make those mistakes and they presented opportunities to you. You didn't punch a gift horse in the mouth, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory tonight, Tyler?
Yeah, my wife, daughter, and my best buddy, Jake Allman, who was in the race as well. He didn't get to finish. We had some technical difficulties before race, but he didn't get a lot of practice in, and I think he crashed out or something. But yeah, shout those 3 out, and shout out Degenerate Race League as well, putting on these fun events for us. So.
Right on. Thank you so much, Finley. Have a great night and stay safe out there.
All right, thank you, sir. You too.
And with that, I see no more interviewees on the horizon. So with that, we close things out, folks, and say thanks to all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much to keeping the lights on here at the Degenerate Race League. From green to checkered flag, I've been your host, Sagar Bakshi. Thank you again for joining me for this Degenerate Race League broadcast. Have a great night, and as always, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.